I do not proclaim to be a makeup artist. I am far from it. I am still learning as I go, but I think I do well enough where I could record this video. So whenever you are trying to do something very, very basic when it comes to makeup, especially if you're new, I always suggest start off very basic. Foundation, eyeshadow, lip gloss, and a good setting spray. Any basic thing that you need, you can find at a beauty supply store, you can find at Walgreens, CVS, Target, Walmart, wherever you shop and whatever is convenient for you. What I will suggest is if you're just starting out in makeup, don't splurge, because you don't want to buy something and then you totally end up hating it, or you just don't want to be bothered with it. So what you're going to need, I'm going to show you what I'm going to use, but feel free to adjust this as you may. Facial wipes. You're going to need facial wipes. Next, you will need a primer. Now this was a sample primer, so I would never spend a crazy amount on YSL primer. Not my thing. I just grabbed what was the closest to me. After you get your primer, you're going to need a good foundation. Again, you can go for the drugstore kind. I'm just going to use what I like right now, what I have out on my dresser. So I'm going to use my It Cosmetics Your Skin But Better foundation. For concealers, now I know concealing, contouring, and highlighting, that's a little advanced, but you still want to at least have a good concealer. So I'm going to use my Beauty Blender concealer. Again, bit more pricey. Drugstore concealer works just as well if you find a good one. Your eyeshadow, I'm going to use my Bare Necessities palette from ColourPop. I have not swatched this. I have not used it, so this is going to be a first time for all of us to see this on my channel. You're going to need a good mascara, because not everyone is a pro at wearing or putting on false lashes. You're going to need a gloss. Again, this is just what I grabbed off my dresser. You don't need to use a $20 lip gloss if you choose not to. You're going to need a setting powder and a good setting spray. Why do you need both? Because you are probably wearing a mask, as most of the masses are, and you don't want your makeup to come off under your mask. You don't want it to start to melt off as your day is going on or as you're sweating. So runny makeup, no one ever likes runny makeup. I forget to mention, you're going to need brushes. Now I know I've said it in a previous video, a lot of my videos I'm using sponges, but for the sake of this, and I know a lot of you probably aren't really too familiar with your sponges, a good foundation brush will do. I have my NYX brush, and this one is a bit densely packed. I prefer these versus a stippling brush. A stippling brush is going to give you very light coverage. And then you're going to need eyeshadow brushes, and you have to do your own due diligence on researching what kind of brush you would need. Me, I have stiff brushes, I have concealer brushes, and I have fluffy brushes. I live for a fluffy brush. So let's get into this look. All right, so first what I'm going to do, I am going to clean my face. Once your skin is ready to go, you're going to prime your skin. So I'm going to use my YSL primer, and for primer, I like more of a thicker primer because that, to me personally, it fills in your pores a lot more versus, you know, the liquidy ones that they don't really cover pores and texture. And you want your face to be as smooth as can be for when you apply your makeup. So, alright, so now we got primer on. I will zoom in for you guys momentarily so you can see everything I'm doing to my face, but just for the wide stuff like the primer and the foundation, I will not zoom in for. Alright, so now what I like to do, not everybody likes this, but I do my eyes first. I've said in countless videos, I envy people who can do their foundation first and then do eyes and not mess up their foundation. I'm a klutz. So yeah, I will not. I think I've done it once or twice on camera where I've done my eyes after my foundation. But so what you're going to do, you want to prime your eyelids anytime you put eyeshadow on. This will pretty much help your shadow not only stay on and not crease, but if depending on the color, it'll help it pop a little bit. So I'm just going to put a little bit of concealer on, and my concealer I put on is closer to my skin tone, and just blend it out. I'm just using a concealer brush just to blend that out. And what I'm trying to do, honestly guys, I'm trying to normalize girls wearing just regular eyeshadow. I know everybody loves and envies a cut crease and a halo eye, but not all of us do that. Not all of us know how to do it. Not all of us can do it. And just who wants to sit and do a cut crease to go to their regular 9 to 5? I know I don't. So we're going to normalize regular schmegular degular eyeshadows, folks. Alright, now once your concealer is blended out, when it comes to your eyeshadow, you want to do 3 things. You want to have a transition shade, a highlight shade, and a shade to just blend out with. So we're going to go into the Bare Necessities palette again. I'm taking the plastic off because this is a new palette. And you guys can see this is a very neutral palette. I didn't want to do anything crazy in this video. So for my transition color, we're going to do, what are we going to do? Alright, we're going to do this color right here called Tabloids. I'll zoom in for you guys. Okay, so purpose of your transitional color, 1 is to set your concealer, and 2, it's to just give a nice background to whatever you're going to put on top of it. So I'm still setting my concealer with Tabloid. Okay, so this is what Tabloid looks like. Now we are going to go in with a color to blend out, and we're going to go over that with the colors Velveteen, which is this one right here, and we're going to go in with this color right here called Stiletto. So we're going to do a blend of those two. Again, you don't have to follow this exactly. Like, I know I said 3 colors, but I'm probably going to end up using 4 or 5. And this palette has a lot of fallout. Ugh. And then you just want to start from the center of your eye and go outward. So you guys can see I just blended out my outer corner. I didn't do anything crazy. I'm not trying to do a smoky eye for this. If you were to do a smoky eye, you would do a darker color on your outer corner. Now for your inner corner, you can do one of two things. Some people will just use a very light and bright color, or you can use something shimmery. So me being the person that I am going to use something shimmery. And I think we're going to go in with the color, this pretty color right here called Fuzzy. And I'm just going to apply that to my inner corners. And then anytime you feel that, you know, a color looks kind of off or something doesn't look right, just take a clean brush and just blend. I realized makeup is more about blending than it is about where you're putting colors and such. I'm still working on my blending, so I'm just going to go over it with a little bit more of stiletto just to get rid of the harshness. With this same brush, I'm going to use a darker brown and just go in on my crease just a little bit. And then trust me, your look will come together. I know sometimes people will sit and be like, "Oh, this looks crazy." Trust me, it will come together. No worries, trust me. And it also, your eyes will always look crazy if you don't have any foundation on. Like, you'll look a mess. All right, so we are done with eyeshadow. Next, we are going to apply our foundation. So you get your foundation brush ready to go. And then you proceed. So now with your brush, you're going to want to apply the product to the brush. And what I like to do, I tap. Like, I know some people do the whole painting and they do that. I tap and I work in sections, which is a little bit more time consuming. Well, thank God it was nothing there, because that's going to be a mess to clean up. But yeah, I work in sections and I just tap. And then usually depending on what foundation I go with that day, it may require more than one coat. As most of you who are frequent to this channel already know, I am a full coverage gal. I don't like anything sheer. I don't like anything I have to really sit and blend for 2 hours. I just want to put my makeup on and go. So It Cosmetics, usually I don't have to build too much. Like, I can do usually my whole face in one go round. And for the sake of this video, I will only do one go around. So I gotta make it work for y'all. And I mean, as you can see, it's full coverage, but I think I used, what, 6 pumps for my entire face? And that was it? Alright. So now for those little cracks and crevices you didn't get, you want to put on your concealer. So I'm just going to go under my eyes. So today I won't highlight and contour for you guys. I'll just conceal. So you just want to do under your eyes. And normally I would highlight under my eyes. I would highlight my nose, contour my forehead and my cheeks. But we won't do all of that. So just anywhere you feel the foundation really didn't hit its mark, And what I would advise, I'm usually pretty good about this. If you're gonna buy a higher end foundation, you might just want to use something in the same family brand. So normally if I use Beauty Blender concealer, I use Beauty Blender foundation, but like I said, my It Cosmetics was closer to me. And then you just, normally I would also do this with a sponge. You just blend out your concealer. Make sure there are no streaks. And remember, I told you guys earlier, just blend down into your jawline. I have been very fortunate enough where my jawline and my makeup usually do match. And I usually don't have to go down that far. Okay, so now once you do that, unless your eyebrows are like perfect, you're gonna have to do some type of brow fill-in. So I actually need to go get my eyebrows done, but I'm just taking, what pencil is this? Is a ColourPop pencil, and just filling in my brows. I'm gonna probably get my brows done this weekend, and I can't, honestly, I cannot tell you how, let me not say I can't tell you. I can't advise how to do your brows because everybody's face shape is different. And I know me personally, I live for a very high arch. So when my hair starts to grow back in, that usually kills any look I go to do. And then just brush the product through. And brushing the product through will actually give you more of a gradient. And it'll move the product around. It'll help you fill in where you didn't put product. So just follow the curve and path of the way your hair is growing. But I also feel my eyebrows just grow out so crazy that it doesn't really matter at that point. Alright, next, I know I'm jumping all around. I know everybody can do eyeliner, so for the sake of this, I will not do eyeliner on camera. I will probably add eyeliner to this final look. But you want to get your mascara. And for the sake of this video, I will also not put on lashes because I don't use glued on lashes, which I know a lot of people do, so that's not my MO, so I will not do glue lashes for this video. So when you put your mascara on, you want to start from the root of your lash line and then go up. Maybelline has probably one of the best mascara like sectors of all the makeup brands. High-end drugstore, Maybelline is always my go-to. And Maybelline usually makes me look like I have fake lashes on anyway, so it's a win-win. And then I realize I have no lower lashes, but if you have thick lower lashes, you would add mascara to that as well. Next, you're going to take your setting powders and powder your face. Now, I know setting powder can be scary to some. For the sake of this video, I will only use one powder instead of my normal 3. So I'm going to use the Beauty Bakery flour, and I'm just going to set my entire face because I didn't contour and highlight, so there's no need for me to jump all over the place. So when you do your powder, you do want to get a powder brush that's fluffy and doesn't really restrict too much bristle. Like, you want this to be puffy so you can add it. Or sometimes what I do, I use smaller setting powder brushes to put powder on my face. So you can do that. And then some people do what's called baking, which means you put your setting powder on and you let it sit Some people just put it on and then dust it right back off. You would have to decide how mattifying you want your look to be. I usually do give it 2 to 3 minutes. Anything longer, I realize it's harder to brush off. So you just want to be mindful of how long you're letting your powders sit. And you already see that took down a good amount of the shine that was on my face. But I still look somewhat glowy. All right, let's close that because I'm a klutz and I will knock that down. And then, like I said, you don't want to let this sit long, so I'm just gonna brush it right on off just to save you and I both a lot of time on our hands. What I forgot to tell you guys also too is actual highlighting. So you can do highlight if you want to invest in a highlighter palette, by all means. Again, like I said, if you're new, I wouldn't shell out a ton of money for highlighter palettes. Like, I think my most expensive highlighter palette is probably $30 or $40. But we stand for dual products. You can use one of your eyeshadows, especially if it's a good company and like their products are good. ColourPop usually never steers me wrong, so I'm just gonna go in with Fuzzy on my brow bone, and for my cheeks I think we're gonna do a little bit of Genie, which is this color right here. So let's first just lightly do my brow bone. And I feel a highlight under your brow bone, just, it brings your look together. But don't get crazy like me. I get crazy on my highlight. It's ridiculous. I should be jailed the way I get crazy in highlighter. And then for my cheeks, just a little brush. Now you got to be careful because, like I said, some people can get really heavy on their highlighter. So, and just gently sweep your cheeks. I have no clue where my fan brush is, so I have to use this light brush. And you want it to blend out so that way it doesn't look drawn on, but then it doesn't look like, you see how I did that and that was just one brush. Like, you want it to blend so it doesn't look like you just drew highlighter on your face. But I'm also fine with that type of look too. That's become my signature. And if you feel you went overboard with the highlighter, you can definitely just go back in with your foundation. If you go overboard with the highlight, you can definitely just go over it with the foundation that's still on your brush. So once we've done that, you want to get your setting spray. I don't put on lip until after I set my face completely. It's just the weirdo in me. So just and let air dry. And then you just apply your gloss. Usually I would line my lips and put a color, but we're going to keep this really simple and really basic. You see it's a nude gloss with a little bit of color in it, little reflex in it. Alright, so let me go put some hair on and I will be right back. Alright, and we are back. I have hair on. So this is really it. I know makeup could be super duper intimidating, folks, but once you get into it, you get the swing of it, it becomes a super addicting habit. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite product to use. I think that's a good question. What's your favorite product to use? Y'all know me, I'm a sucker for a good mascara and a good lip gloss. I feel if you have on good mascara and a bomb gloss, you are good to go. So thank you guys always for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and to tell a friend to tell a friend. And I will catch you guys in the next